Alrighty guys, so this past week we had Memorial Day here in the United States, and that is a day where we remember the fallen soldiers and really honor those who have saved and protected us from times of war. A lot of times people forget that the dogs are also part of that, and so I want to take a moment to thank those and the dog handlers and the dogs themselves who actually put themselves in harm's way without fear, without regret, and do it just because they're told to. So I want to take a moment and thank them for their service. All the pets that go overseas and keep our soldiers safe are better heroes than anybody I've ever met. They do it without any inclination of fear, and they just go forward to save and protect human life. And with that, I want to get to today's mashup. Deuces. Alrighty guys, it's another mashup day here with Adam, your dog trainer. But first, if this is your first time watching, please consider smashing that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell for notifications. Also, feel free to follow me on my Instagram page at Adam, your dog trainer, where I post pictures of my students on a daily basis. And you guys can honestly reach out to me one-on-one and just ask questions all you want. People do it all the time. So let's get to today's mashup. Today we have a really good one. It is Canidae Pure C versus Blue Buffalo Wilderness Salmon Formula. So two powerhouses out in the industry, and we're going to go head to head. This was a special request by a bunch of people. I don't want to put all of them because there's so many. So this one's been in the works, and let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and get up and close and kind of dive into it. Alrighty, I'll see you guys after the 3 hours. Deuces. Alrighty, so here we go once again. We have Blue Buffalo Wilderness Salmon flavored versus, I got a little sample here of the Canidae Pure C formula, which is basically the competitor of that. This is their limited ingredient. Ooh, those went flopping. Limited ingredient salmon formula from Canidae. We're gonna do our usual 3 hours. 100% vinegar, white vinegar actually. So we match the stomach of the dog at 2.2 pH, and we'll come back after 3 hours. See you guys later. Deuces. Okay, so after our 3 hour time lapse, you guys saw kind of what I saw, which was really not much of anything. Let's start with the Blue Buffalo. Blue Buffalo, I don't know what's going on with these guys. We haven't done a mashup with them in a while, but it didn't really break down at all. So if you look, there's a little bit of gray. You can see the finger through the bottom, which is great, but there's nothing down here. Nothing broke down, very little bit. The water very ambery, but didn't really break down. There are literally tons of bubbles on the top. You can just see that. And there's a ring around. You can see the little bubble line right there. I don't know, this literally just sat there and expanded. I don't understand why or what is going on with Blue, but it is not the same food it was a year ago. And it's concerning because we just don't understand what's going on. So now let's go into Canidae. And Canidae, they actually really turned almost like a dark beer color. Very little bit broke down, but not nearly what I expected. They too had bubbles on the rim here, and you could see bubbles inside right there. So, you know, they both kind of expanded and stayed on the top. You know, I'm gonna break this one down a little differently than normal. I'm gonna say that the Canidae did not expand as much as the blue did. Blue definitely expanded a lot more. If you look at the quantities of food, you can see the blue buffalo sits further down in the glass. So, you know, for the expansion, I'm gonna go with Canidae, because what it sounds like is blue is just becoming a heavier formula, which makes it harder for dogs to digest a little bit. There's another thing in the ingredient listings that I don't like about this blue buffalo formula. And let me go ahead and show you that. I know I didn't do the ingredients before, but I'm gonna show you this one. This is the Blue Buffalo Wilderness Salmon formula, but it's actually not just a salmon. It actually has a chicken base to it. So chicken is actually in this formula too, which I find that to be very misleading. And I really wish they would just put that on the bag instead of trying to let people think this is just a salmon-based formula when it is not. It is actually a multiple protein source. That's how they get that protein levels as high as they do. I don't understand how they would get to the levels they get with just salmon alone, all right? So that alone right there makes this Canidae's win. I don't understand. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please leave them in the description below, or in the comments below, I mean. Also, please, if you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. It does help the channel. And that's about it. If there's any food you want to see me do a mashup with, please go ahead. Also put that in the comment below. Everyone have a great week. And you know what? I'm kind of disappointed in this one. I'm sorry. I kind of hyped it up for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Alrighty. And I'll see you guys later. Everyone have a fantastic week.